From Senegal to Sugar Hill, trace the bloodline. 100 years of brilliance through the color line. They thought the shackles broke but kept the mental chain. Langston penned the future while they legislated pain. Harlem's ballrooms birthed the cosmos in mahogany, while lynching trees still decorated southern botany. Josephine, Wakers, pearls, and Garvey's Navy ships. Du Bois debating destiny with scholarship on his lips. The Renaissance was a renaissance, it was resistance, fam. Every trumpet blast from Armstrong was a battering ram. They gave us minstrel shows, we gave them Sora Neal. Turned depression into art, made the fabricated real. Cotton Club excluded us from tables every set. To form the Venus nightly, never free from the debt. But Bessie Smith could shatter glass, shatter cash, shatter lies. Every note she sang contained a revolution in disguise. Build temples from the rubble, make cathedrals from the struggle. Turned the margins to the center, now they study what we scribble. We built temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from. Fast forward through the decades, watch the pattern reassemble. Malcolm's speeches, Martin's marches, every voice begins to tremble to the earth until the structure shows its fractures. FBI was tracking every coon with every pastor, every actor. 40 acres never came but 40 minutes on a stage. To reconvene your consciousness and channelize the rage. From bebop to hip-hop, the fool lines mathematical. Each generation weaponized the beautiful, the radical. They gave us Reagan, now there's crack and mass incarceration. We gave them Public Enemy and blueprints for liberation. The Harlem Renaissance never ended, just evolved its form. Every freestyle cipher is a brainstorm, is a storm. Where the children of the talented, the tent that the boys prophesied, inherit the fire that the water couldn't wash aside. They tried to write us out the narrative. We offered all on text, 100 years of proof, and that we're destined. Where was next? Temples from the rubble, made cathedrals from the struggle. Turned the largest to the center, now they study what we scribble. We built temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from.
All right, this is and you are Under the Groove. Welcome everybody. Let's start off with saying, man, may everyone's day have been or is up to this point everything that they worked out or worked on it to be. Put in that effort, man, to make sure that before this day is out, before it's up, you've done all you can do to make it everything it could be for you and yours. Peace and prosperity to each and every one of y'all, man. I'm glad to be here. You know, long day, frustrating day, but nonetheless, you know what they say, you take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? You can't always have sunshine. Got to be some rain, man. Got to be some rain. But and that has nothing to do in terms of interacting with people and shit like that. You know, this technology, man, sometimes it don't work for me. You know, if it's not one thing, it's another. But if anything, it's showing me, okay, man, I got to really buckle down and figure out how to get around certain obstacles and shit, you know. So my day, man, was dealt with frustrating how to deal with technology without becoming too frustrated. Let me put it like that. I'm in my studio. I had no Wi-Fi, man. None. Couldn't get nothing done. Hotspot wouldn't even work. I'm like, oh man, this ain't right. Good building, good place to have a get down, but man, I'm starting to second guess things. I'm considering other moves because that one I ain't feeling that. It's messing with the get down. But anyway, what little research I was able to do today, and it's funny, what I was able to do, I think is significant. It speaks to the moment, what we're going through now as a people, right? This blackout, you know, this eradication of those businesses and people who do not respect not just our dollars, but more importantly, us, you know. So I'm starting to see a lot of more of them coming on social media, TikTok especially, they deep. And it's a trip to me because now they're all saying, hey, wait a minute, man, we supposed to be in solidarity. We supposed to be this. We supposed to be that. Same thing other demographics said, you know, when the shit got rough, you know what I mean? But before that, you don't hear a peep out of them, you know. You hear bullets flying, you know, you see the disrespect, you see the abuse, but, you know, that real shit, you don't see it. So these people, now these are influencers now coming on. And they're, you know, again, I told you they're going to come out of the woodwork. They're going to come out of the woodwork, and it won't be just those people. You know what I mean? It's going to also be some of our people, you know. what's so funny, well, it's not funny. I wonder if you guys have observed whether or not you've seen politicians come out in support of us. I haven't seen one yet, and if I'm wrong, somebody's seen a politician, I don't care what state, what city, let me know. Let me go check that out. But up to this point, I haven't seen not one black politician support. And again, and I mean this like I'm saying this, fuck the boycott and the ban. We talking about a complete blackout and eradication of these people. You know what I mean? You bite me once, I'm not gonna let you bite me again. And yet that's happened. You know what I mean? So at some point, we're gonna have to take a stand and stand on that square. Don't change up, man. They be about it for real, and take this opportunity to do for ourselves, to initiate our businesses, our enterprises, exercise entrepreneurship, do something about it. You know what I mean? Get in this game, man, and find a way to get this money, because seriously speaking, man, they figured out ways to X us out of mostly everything. When we're in reception or something, when we receive something, it's always on the bottom end, on the low end, or the back end. Always, and basically they're saying, we got nothing for you. What are you gonna do for yourselves? And we've been doing for ourselves. Let's be honest. Now, that being said, listen, we have to make a conscious decision as to what we're gonna do about us. We got to stop depending on people, man, and looking to people to provide for us. Again, most of our communities, if not all of them, live in what they call deserts: food desert, water desert, production desert, educational desert, financial desert. We live in deserts. The only thing we have going for us that is really of any significance that matter to all these other demographics that are not us is our dollars. And I'm telling y'all, man, that's the power. That's the power. And not only that, I think also because of that, because if we utilize it right, we take control of our money, there are other things that will come into play for us. That is one thing, but we'll be able to pivot off that into something even better, and before you know it, if we stay the course, hey, man, we're lacing the youth. We're doing shit, and people are seeing it. Our people are seeing it, and they'll become, most of them, I think, vested or interested in the betterment, the empowerment of us. So I think this is a good look, and this is why I say we must stay the course. Don't fall for the okie doke. And y'all got to know the okie doke is coming, because they always think they can play us. They don't take into consideration that anytime we give passes, it's because this is the type of people we are. We're compassionate, we're forgiving, we're forgiving people, man, and sometimes to our own detriment. Let's not be all that right now. The only compassion we should have, the only forgiveness we should provide is for us, nobody else. No one else. Be one should mean exactly that. Be one equals black first. We're not going to, again, we're not being vindictive. We're not being angry. We're motivated by love of self and our people. That's it. We need to take advantage of this. So, again, I'm in, what little time I was able to go and tap in using the hotspot, I finally got it to work. The first thing came up was these Asians, trying to speak truth to power, trying to convince us, dissuade us from what we're doing. Because and if y'all don't know, y'all need to go check this shit out, man. This shit is up and running. I mean, it is literally for real happening. So they're trying to figure out ways to get our people to say, hey, man, come on, man, come on back. They're trying to figure out a way to get us to come back. They're dropping 75% off, 50% off, 75% off. Hey, they're running the gambit. They're trying to figure this shit out. So again, the move they are employing now is getting their own people, those social media influencers they have, to come on social media and try to convince us also. Like I said, they're going to come out the woodwork. But this one individual, Eric Chow, I think that's his name. Oh, he got in like he was so sincere, and everything he was saying was righteous, and just above board. And I said, oh no. So I listened to him. I said, oh yeah, you with the funnies. He said a whole lot of shit didn't make no sense. Eric Chu, you go TikTok at ERICCUU. I'm like, man, you think you talking to some dummies. Talking about, hey man, we about solidarity. We are in the same boat, same fight, blah blah. We been knew that. Y'all didn't give a fuck about that. That's our statement. This is what we're saying to the world. To most people. Hey man, when we tell y'all something, y'all look at us like we fools. But when the shit hit the fan, it's like, oh man, why y'all tripping? Motherfucker, we told y'all what it was. So he go in there and he talking this cap, man. And I'm like, dude, you got us messed up. You got us messed up. So man, we never been at odds. Our people have always loved you people, and we support you, and da da da. And I'm like, damn, what timeline was he in? What dimension is he in? Because it can't be the same one we know about. For since the 1960s, they've been this way. Since they let him in, they've been this way. And I said, wait, let me double check. So I did some double checking, and I have to tell you, man, we are on the right track. Them people ain't gave a flying flick about none of us, man. They never have. They came into the situation, said, okay, we're gonna outdo them, and not only that, but we're gonna stand on their backs to get where we want to be. And we ain't gonna throw no ropes down, with no ladders. We ain't gonna help them climb up. We just gonna exploit them. And that's all they've been doing. That's all they've been doing. One of our greatest assets, man, is our dollars. Straight up, is our dollars. And like I said, man, for most of y'all, you might hear the talk, but go research it. That'd be the best thing. Go research it to understand just how much we are worth. And most of us got this thing about money, right? Let's keep it above board. Most of us are more concerned with the bag than anything else. And if that's the case, you want to be a part of what's happening. You want to make sure this happens to its full fruition. Anything that's possible as a result of this, you want to see that happen, because it's a bag involved. Trust me. And we're talking about just our people. So, hey, man, anytime we decide to do some boycott, ban, or get rid of some people, we do that. It works. It works. First example, the Montgomery bus boycott. Y'all remember that, 1955 to 1956. The only thing about that, historically speaking, I say, and other brothers, we talk about it, should have never went back. Should have let that city suffer, and created our own bus line. And in some respects, they did actually, but they were bamboozled. Again, here we go. We forget quick. We're forgiving, we're compassionate people, but to our detriment. So you start a bus line, man, and they found ways to get the people to work, do what they do, to take care of the family. And the city realized that they had, really shot themselves in the foot, came behind themselves, say, look, this is what we're going to do. And they fell for it. Our ancestors fell for it. They should not have. They should have stayed the damn course. It would have been so much better for us today. Well, here's an opportunity for us today where we don't take our foot off of the pedal, but let me be more straight to the point, where we don't take our foot off of their necks. We gonna reverse this. We're gonna reverse to get down. We're gonna put our foots on their necks and squeeze the life out of them. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. No more forgiving. No more being compassionate. Let's get it done. But anyway, the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955, 1956, it bankrupted the transit system and forced desegregation. Again, another mistake. A lot of us don't understand how segregation actually worked for us rather than what they thought it would do against us. What worked for them was integration. What worked against us was integration. So we're living in that. We're living in the results of that shit right now. This is part of the whole problem, man. Anyway, but that's what it did. The 1955-56 Montgomery bus boycott was the shit. All right. Then came the civil rights era, lunch counter boycotts, economically devastated targeted businesses within weeks. We're only, 10 to 13 days into this thing, and already that demographic is feeling the effects of this shit. That means something, man. But it should mean something to us more than it means something to them and their bottom line, their pockets. It should tell us, oh shit, we do have financial power. We got strength. Okay, then how we make it work for us? It's more than just saying, I'm not going to spend $1 with none of these people. What are you going to use them dollars for? Okay, we're going to help build up black businesses. That's one. But there are other aspects of utilizing our dollars to work for us. One of them is, if we work with our people within our communities, we keep that money in our communities, because I don't think a lot of us understand the significance of that. Most times when we get our money through a paycheck, a job, or whatever, the money stays in our community approximately 6 hours before it leaves. 6 hours. Other demographics, we're talking a week, 10 days, 20 days, 30 days. They're building financial strength and wealth within their communities. As long as the money stay there, continues to circulate, it touches some of everybody. We're benefiting as a result of it. We have to learn how to keep our money within our communities for at least a week. Let's start small, but let's also have a strategy. Again, serving or patronizing black businesses is just one step. That's just one step in the strategy to plan the program. There should be a 2 and a 3. Let's be realistic, all right? But anyway, anytime we decide to do something and we got our minds and our spirit set on that, we get it done. No doubt about that, man. And people are starting to feel it. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. When we get to talking about these other people, man, I'm telling y'all, man, we should be to the point where we ain't got nothing to say to nobody no more, man. We don't have nothing to say to no one anymore. What we're doing now is speaking to one another, each other. And then we're acting on what the hell we're talking about. We're not even looking to see if the results are affecting them. No, that's a distraction. Just do what we're supposed to do and let's get it done. But anytime we set out to do something, we get it done. The boycott was one example. Civil rights era was another example. And so much so that was done so splendidly, all of them rode on our backs as a result of it. And that's the truth. Another thing, they're the same ones that help get rid of DEI and affirmative action. These same people, man. These same people. Crazy thing about it, affirmative action didn't even serve us like a lot of us thought, and neither did DEI. I think when it comes to DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, I think we were 6 on that list. We were at the bottom. When it came to affirmative action, more white women and shit like that were getting the benefits of that. But they told us, lied to us. Come on, man. These people have been working against us a long time, and this is nothing new. And at some point, we got to say, okay, man, again, not out of anger, but out of love for us, man, we got to do better for ourselves. Stop depending on these people. Stop depending on these people. So, yeah, when we sink our teeth into something, man, we taking chunks out of it. It's just what we do, So after the civil rights, there was Black Wall Street in Tulsa. And again, that's another thing they do to us. They try to compartmentalize shit, or they try to give one example instead of the whole picture. It's like they take a picture but give you the frame up in the corner. They don't give you the whole picture. Black Wall Street in Tulsa was just one location. Hey, man, there were hundreds where our people got it done. They understood that they were working, or that they were in a system that didn't have its best interest for us. And this is what we got to get to. But yeah, so when we talk about Black Wall Street in Tulsa, you know, and how we demonstrated what happens when Black folks circulate within the community. Wealth. And that wealth becomes generational. See, this is what they've been keeping us from, man. This is what they hide from us educational. This is why we've been miseducated, so that we don't have the wherewithal to figure out, hey, man, we don't need nobody as long as we have ourselves. And they work hard. They work hard at that, at keeping knowledge in terms of self from us. They work hard at it, man. That divide and rule or divide and conquer is some real shit that they exercise every day. And they get other people to help them do it. This is what we got to come to realize, man. And I got some shit I want to say about those tethers. That's some more shit, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be like that, but at the same time, they got the same mindset. They are also willingly, you know, participants in this wedge system. They got this wedge that keeps us, you know, locked out of this thing, you know, in America about this prosperity and freedom shit. You know what I mean? They are willing participants in that shit, you know, and we got to have a discussion about that. You know, I'm not FBA and none of that. I don't, you know, I look, man, I'm melanated. I know where I come from, where my people been my whole life, their whole lives. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. That's, excuse me, that's not to throw rocks at nobody else that are melanated and migrated here. No, that ain't about that. You know, it's about us realizing, man, what our responsibilities are and how we're supposed to be accountable for us. We've been here the longest, and yet everyone who comes here surpasses us. That's by design. That's not a fluke, a mistake, a coincidence, you know, straight up. Now, again, why I think this moment is different and more serious than others, look, is because previous boycotts, man, targeted specific injustices. You know what I mean? This one do too, but I think it's deeper than that. You know, what's happening now is more structural. It's not just stop shopping there, but permanent extraction and replacement. We extract them, we eradicate them out of our communities, and we replace ourselves in those spots. We fill those voids. We don't give any other demographic an opportunity to come in and fill that hole that we just, you know, we just vacated by evicting people out of our community, you know, so to speak, you know. So this is important, very important. You know, that's to me, that is like a fundamentally more powerful like economic posture. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, we not playing. This is what we standing on, and we got to stand on it. But now, when we get to talking about a lot of shit, let's talk about numbers. All right, the numbers back it up, y'all. Black Americans represent approximately, and it, you know, y'all, anybody can go look this shit up. Anybody. What I'm talking about, anybody can go look up. We represent, man, anywhere from 1.8 to $2 trillion, all right, in annual buying power. And that's the power that matters. See, because when you're talking about annual buying, you're talking about money. That's what makes this thing go around. This is capitalism, man. This is how it's ran. It's a capitalist system, man. It's ran on capital. You know, this fake money, this shit they got. We got $2 trillion of that shit every year. Every fucking year. It's a lot of fucking money, man. All right. Now, studies consistently show that black dollars leave the black community within 6 hours. I just mentioned that, right? We got to start thinking about that shit. All right. Now, compare that to, let's say, them Ish people, them so-called Jewish people. All right. Their communities, you know, where they bring their dollars in, them dollars circulate in their communities maybe 20 times longer before leaving. All right. And when they leave the community, they leave in terms of investments on something else, somewhere else. You know, that's the power of money. If you got enough of it, you can go to hell you want to go. sooner or later, because you know that's the thing that propels capitalism, greed, mugs will let you in the door. Just think about it, you know. But anyway, like I said, with them, with the Jewish community, it's like 20 times longer in their community before it leaves, you know. Asian communities where they circulate 9 to 11 times more than us, stays in their community. These gaps, man, they represent, man, generational wealth being, let's say, drained continuously from us. We're not establishing generational wealth for us. We're doing it for someone else. We're helping them to create generational wealth. That's a bad look, man. No matter how you look at it, it's a bad look. Now, what can we develop from doing for self? Right? Wealth retention. That is the money from whatever job it stays in our community. Allow it to circulate. We retain the money in the community long enough for it to circulate. So if it's 6 hours before it leaves us, let's do it times 3. You know, in fact, let's do it a day. Let's do it 24 hours, man. Let's build that shit up. Let's get to a day. You know what to say? You got to crawl before you walk. You got to walk before you run, you know? These are the things we're supposed to be doing. When we're going to do this, we have to be in a position to do it and do it right to where we benefit as a people from it. Straight up, man. Straight up. That's the only way. So yeah, wealth retention. The other one is employment. Black-owned businesses hire Black people at higher rates. See, all this shit we be talking, oh man, we be dripping on you. Yeah, we could get over that shit. Fuck that. Fuck that. And if you get a job in a Black establishment or business, man, go like you got some damn sense. Go to that job with some dignity and respect. You know, dignity for self, respect for self, and for this Black person that hired you. You know, and may very well be willing to pay you at a rate that might be $1 more, $1.50 more than what you used to getting working for someone else that ain't even of you. You know, so employment is the next run. All right. Then you got cultural respect. And I just said that. Businesses owned by community members have inherent accountability. We're going to take care of our shit, man. We're going to take care of our shit. I remember them rides jumped off before I left the streets back in 92. Anything that had Black owned and it was verified, for the most part, it was not touched. All right. So we take pride in our shit. You know, that's the cultural aspect of it, you know. Then there's political power. See, now everybody in a tiff. Everybody's feathers are ruffled because, oh, they didn't took the vote. They didn't. We ain't got no political power. And let's be straight up. That costs money. That takes money, man. In the halls of power, man, money is being exchanged. You know, it's a transaction, man, that's taking place. A lot of us don't understand that shit. Okay. With our money, we establish political power. You know, it's a transaction, you know, and it's a give and take. Same way we should treat our vote. It's a transaction. Don't give it away. That's just like we're giving our money to people who don't respect us. We're giving it away. Yeah, we get some in return, man, subpar ass merchandise, products, food, you know. Yeah. But we're literally giving our money away for nothing. It's just like our vote. We give it away, man, for nothing. We got to stop that shit. You know, we have to be accountable for our shit. Be responsible with our shit. That includes not just our dollars, but our vote and anything else that may represent or bring to us power that get us further ahead. Let's be real, man. Yeah, money's good, but you got to know how to wield it. There's a purpose for money, for real, other than just buying shit. Most of us don't understand the concept of that note, that credit or whatever. We don't get it. But it's something significant tied to it. A lot of us don't want to leave this system we in. We've been in it. Hey, man, we're okay. All right, if that's the case, you don't want to unplug from the matrix, man, goddamn, we'll get in it and, hey, make it work for you. Make it work for you. Political power, man. We lack money in the community. We don't know how to retain it, keep it in the community. And as a result, I think part of the problem with politics and us is that we have no money to back what the fuck we want. The laws we think are beneficial to us. That's what everybody else does, man. Everybody else do it. They create lobbies with money backing them. They go to Congress and they say, hey, this, that, and the third. Oh, we'll sponsor you. You need a donation. $1 million. But you got to make sure that SB 671 gets passed. And the lobbies is cold with it. They'll work both sides of the aisle. It doesn't make a difference to them as long as their money gets them what they want. Man, we just, come on, man. This is not rocket science. But political power, that is the economic independence that reduces vulnerability to political manipulation. All right. What's next? Generational wealth. And I think political power is what helps us to protect that, to get it etched in stone. Some might not think so, but hey, trust and know. You get up in the halls of power and you doing the damn thing, hey man, some shit gonna happen for you, and it's gonna be good. It'll be in effect generations from now. They won't be able to go, if you do it right, to the Supreme Court and take it from you. No, man, we pay for this like everybody else pay for their shit. We got the receipts. Not just in blood and sweat and lives. We gave what y'all love most, money. That's our shit, And that's the reality, man. That's the reality we don't face. We don't deal with that type of shit. But generational wealth is something we all talk about. We don't want those coming up behind us to go through none of this shit, man, that we are going through. To have to, deal with landlords, rents that just keep going, living in food deserts, water deserts, production deserts, ownership that we don't want that for them, man. Anybody in their right mind would not want to see those young ones coming up behind them living through the same shit that if you didn't go through, your mom and daddy and their mom and daddy went through. Generational wealth is a real thing. It's a real thing, man. And we got to put work in to get to that. Because again, if it's about the people, and that would include you, even those of you out, I don't give a fuck, but man, you got kids, more than likely, what y'all say, baby mama, baby daddy and all this shit, you have children, man. And if you got any kind of heart, your job, for a fact, is to protect them, to keep shit from them that you were exposed to. That's the reality, man. That should be the reality. But generational wealth, that's the ownership of shit, ownership that builds assets that transfer to children, And another thing about that generational wealth thing, we have to educate our children so that when we're gone, we won't see what took place in the 80s and 90s with those parents who built wealth and had it set to the side for the generations to come. And as soon as they left, people sold off the generational wealth. That's why our communities look like they look. Everybody want to know why these Mahindas in our community, because we sold out, man. We weren't educated enough to understand what the real purpose of that shit was or what it's for, what it can do for us. Can't make that same mistake, man. Just can't. Anybody in their right mind, again, man, you would not want that for those who are coming up behind you. It wouldn't make any sense, you know. But to make it make more sense, we have to also educate our people, man, our children, so that they don't make the mistakes a lot of us made by selling off our shit to these people. Communities, man, that we were born in, that we bled in, sweat in, built, and died in. And most of them deaths was for the wrong damn reason. I don't want that, man. For no real man, black man or black woman want that for their family, man, or their people. So generational wealth is a real thing, man, in that we got to get back to that. You know, what it's going to take. Everything that we're doing now, I'm telling y'all, man, it's all encompassing. Listen, what we're doing now, and if we had, use your head, man. You know, use vision, man. You got to visualize this shit. This shit is not by mistake, man. You know, it's not by mistake that this shit is happening. We have to take advantage of this shit, man. This is the moment. This is the moment. We got to take this shit serious. We don't care who else is taking us serious. They had that opportunity. They disregarded how serious we were when we told them. Now we have to take us serious. Real spit, man. Real spit. You know? So with that generational wealth, now we're going to talk about self-determination. You control your own economic narrative, man. That's what this thing should be about. Us controlling our own economic narrative. No one else gets to decide this for us. No one else. If we do not take advantage of this opportunity, others will. And they'll control our economic narrative. You know? Now, you know, and like I say, man, it's just a whole lot, man. It's a whole lot that I don't think a lot of us actually get. We're looking at shit on the surface. And then a lot of us are acting and responding. We're reactionary because we're doing what we're doing out of anger. It's not going to benefit us. Anger, it clouds the mind, it clouds judgment, you know? And we shouldn't be functioning or doing what we were doing because we're angry about the treatment from others towards us. This shit should be motivated by nothing but love, man. That's it. For us. Blacks first. Damn everything else. And when I say that, I'm speaking specifically to a certain segment of blacks because we know the business on that as well. We know the business, you know. Let's be realistic, man. That being said, I just wanted to go in and drop that, man, right quick. You know, here we are, man. What we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Are we gonna squander this opportunity? Are we gonna let others and our own, to some degree, dissuade us from being on this road right here, man? That could take us anywhere we want to go if we stay on it. Anywhere we want to go if we stay on it. Stop looking to the wayside. Stop being distracted, man. Stop creating BS amongst us, you know, that would, you know, have us to falter. Damn all that, man. It's the time. That much I know. I don't know a whole lot, man. I'm an ignorant mug, man. I'm trying to get understanding and knowledge, man. I ain't got enough, you know. And if there's such a thing of accumulating as much knowledge as one needs, and I'm on that road, man. And not just to have it because I got it, but to utilize it. That should be our mission as well, man. Educating ourselves so that we know how to go about doing some shit, getting results as a result of this knowledge we done picked up. We're applying it. Let's apply this knowledge, man. Alonzo, I see you up in here, bro. Long time no see. I wonder if you've been waiting on me to say that. I ain't seen you in about a week, man. Listen, Peace and prosperity, man, to you and your family. May everything be everything, man. Everyone is healthy and well. All right. Good to see you back, though, man. Say peace to you, bub, and your family. Peace to the RGC and to all the kings and queens in the chat holding it down. Appreciate that as always, Lonzo. You first, you front and center today. Front and center. B60, what's going on, bro? I see you. Greetings and salutations to you, bub, and the RGC B1. Black first, y'all. This Royal Group congregation. We need to get that out there, man. We're not concerned. RGC is ours. We're talking about B1. That's everybody. That's everybody, man. We got to get black first. We got to get, it got to be more than a mantra or a slogan. It has to be a movement, man. We got to get this shit out there, man. And I'm telling you, I'm astounded by what I've seen so far. You know, because sometimes we're always a little pessimistic when it comes to us. Because, man, we've been through some shit, right? And it seems oftentimes that a lot of us are just giving up. You know, we see it all the time, you know. We see it all the time. And those of us that have been through some shit and then made it through, we want to tell them, hey, man, just stay the course. Keep on keeping on, man. Got to make the best of a bad situation. It's going to get greater. Hey, man, stay in the fight, you know. Sometimes in these attitudes from our own people be like, ah, man, I ain't saying shit to this dumb motherfucker. We got to do better than that. We got to do better than that, you know. I see ignorance all day, every day. Sometimes, man, I am also guilty of that. You know what I mean? But there are people who not just, you know, who would say, I know it's hard, you know, he mean, well, you're righteous or whatever, man. But, you know, there are people, in spite of, you know, our ignorance, when we display it, will stick it through. Because, hey, man, you know, that vibe, man, that frequency is there, man. It's there, you know. There's this not just a semblance, but there's this, you know, the markings that, hey, man, your spark is already, it's been lit. We got to fan the flame, man, you know. So don't give up, man. Don't, you know, be one, man. That's what we got to push. That's it. That's what I think. That's what I think. And I'm telling you, the only way we're going to really push it, get it to where it's supposed to be, is how we treat ourselves first, how we think, what we speak, how we act, and then how we allow that core to open up and receive whatever it is it's supposed to receive. All this shit matters. It all matters, man. So there that is. Hey, man, appreciate seeing you, B60. Good look, bro. Good look. I don't have no clips today, y'all. Like I said, I've been putting this shit together because I wanted to talk about this. You know, I wanted to talk about it because, you know, the truth of the matter is, it's not that we're easily distracted as a people. It's just that they know so many ways to distract us that sometimes we don't see it. We don't catch it. You know, we don't catch it till it's too late, or till we've been nudged, tapped on the shoulder, like, hey, man, that's a ploy. You know, they're employing, you know, a game, you know, they're trying to, you know, twist you. But yeah, man, we got to be in this shit like we mean it. And we cannot let nothing dissuade us, man. Nothing. That's just me talking, you know. Dissuade us, man. Hold on. You know, so anyway, good to see you up in here, B6. Lonzo said, man, we build temples from rubble, man. I knew you knew the lyrics, man. Appreciate that, Lonzo. We build temples from the rubble, y'all. I wonder, though, I have to admit, I do wonder whether or not a lot of y'all go in and listen to that shit. Listen to them lyrics. Not just the intro, man, but the outro. That's us, man. Every bit of that. When I sign off, I'm listening to the outro. I'm like, damn, man, that shit was fire. We build temples from the rubble, y'all. Can't nobody else do this shit, man. Can't nobody else do what we do. They not like us, man. They not. Appreciate that, Lonzo. Antonio, I see you, bro. And love right back to you. Lonzo said, man, peace, Anthony. All right. And Anthony, that's what you got in B6M. I hope all is well with you, brothers, and yours. The devil's always going to attempt to slow you down, bro. That's just game. That's where it goes. I was telling somebody that the other day. I was telling my niece that actually. And I said, I'm going to tell it to you like this, niece, because, my whole family, now I don't, I'm not caught into all that, devil and God, I said, now I'm going to say it in a way that you understand it because, that's what you involved. That's what you are. I said, man, anytime you're doing good, what happens? It's always some uncle that come, boom, boom. I said, they say that's the devil at work, right? She said, yeah. I said, hey, but what that mean? What are you supposed to do? She said, I don't know what else to do but keep fighting. So there it is. There it is. And that's what made us who we are. We keep pushing. Even when the devil's saying you ain't got no more push in you. And when the other devils say, man, we gonna power this shit up on you so you can't move it. We find more push in us. We find the power to move shit out the way, man. That's just what we do. It's just what we do. And even in that respect, those are also distractions that they employ. Get us to talking about this, that, and the third. Like, hey, man, we already know what it is. So, all right. And let me continue doing what I'm doing. The devil is always going to attempt to slow you down. Appreciate that. Jody Jebs is back. He say, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Good to see you back up in here, Jody Jebs. You already know what to do. This is Under the Groove Podcast. You are touching bases with the people. Appreciate having you. Right now, the focus is on the focus. Us doing what we supposed to do, not just to maintain some shit. No, we talking about elevating now. We have to be talking about elevating now. Damn the status quo. If we don't see the big picture, man, hey, y'all, we're talking about elevating now. We're talking about, and I don't know if a lot of y'all get it. Man, this thing has brought empowerment to the people. That's what that is. Our brothers and sisters, our kings and queens, gods and goddesses are empowered, man. That's deep shit. That's deep shit to me. I love it, man. Man, my vibe is good, man. The frequency is good, man. I feel it. Hey, let's do this shit. Let's do this shit. So good to see you up in here, Jody. Queen Nzinga say, happy Tuesday, RGC, Royal Group Congregation. Today is another opportunity to grow and move closer to your purpose. Don't let yesterday's challenges steal today's blessings. Stay focused on the focus and grateful. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. I've said this before quite often. I said, and again, just, an analogy, I use. A lot of us get these blessings, and we got the audacity, or we have the audacity to be like, oh, this ain't enough. This ain't shit. Where's the whoop, whoop? Where the big shit, And we don't realize, man, that, that's a test, I think. See how you handle some small shit. See whether or not you qualify. You wired and laced right to handle some big shit. Some big blessings. Them blessings are coming to you like they're supposed to. They're coming to you like they are supposed to. Don't mess off your blessings, man. Appreciate them. The small ones first. When that happens, I'm telling you, man, when that big shit hit, we're going to be prepared for it. We're going to appreciate it. So, hell, appreciate that, Queen Nzinga. Lonzo say, hey, look, man, welcome to the RGC, Jody. I hope all is well with you and yours. Good to see you here. Yeah, Jody been here before. You was MIA, man. Jody came hang out last week. I don't know where you was. I started to call your ass. I said, no, I'm giving him some time. He's doing him. Shit. But yeah, real spit though, Zoe. We appreciate her presence, man. Real spit. Appreciate her presence. Anyway, All right, you hollering at the queen. Yeah, the blackout. That's what they called it. But I'm gonna tell you, Zoe, I would if it was my call to call what it is, I would call it the eradication. You know, the extraction, the removal. I you know, and not to be, you know, but hey, you know, not to be, you know, fuck with nobody trying to piss them off, but just let them know this is what we doing. It's time to go, you know. The send-off, you know. Yeah, damn a blackout, damn a boycott, and the ban. Nah, man, a send-off. Bye. What they do should say boo bye. They say something like that. Boo bye. So yeah, that part. That part. But it is working, Lonzo. Queen and Zinga send hers back to you, bro. You say we can come together like Voltron, man. The world will see. Oh, they see. Excuse me, right? They see. They see. All right, Fat Rat, what it do, loved one? Yeah. Peace to you and RGC, Big Bub. Right back to you, loved one. Peace and prosperity to you and the fam. Good to see you up in here. All right. And what you think, man? What's on your mind, man? What more can we do? What more should we be doing? You know, what's the pivot? You know, what's the strategy? You know, in any respect, good to see you here, man. Rakufu, what it do, loved one? Peace to the RGC and all newcomers, bub. What about the movie A Spoon of Chocolate? What you didn't like about it, G? Hey, man, I told you, man. One, it was the fact that what's the guy's name? Tarantino did the movie. Now, if you just really pay attention, Tarantino's a racist, man, and he don't deny it in real life. In real life. And most of his movies are like that. Anytime there are black characters in the movie, they're being degraded, belittled, disrespected, you know, outright murdered or whatever, you know what I mean? In those movies are women, you know, they bees and you know, and streetwalkers, and you know what I mean? He just runs the gambit of bigotry and racism, if you ask me. You know. Now I just had this debate the other night, man, about the movie and how black characters were portrayed. Where the movie started out, the Wayupi, you know, the pink people come in and they mash. They in Ohio, and they mashed on the brothers like ninja. The hell you doing in this gym? No, and the brother that lived there was just, you know, a passive. It was passive, and I couldn't reconcile with the fact that do brothers get down like that today for real? My mind to me, hell no, man, no brother going for that shit, man. But I had to check myself, like, hey, you don't really know. You know, the brother, like, you know, kowtowing and, hey, man, yeah, man, why, wait, shut up, ninja. I ain't talking to you, da-da-da-da. No, man, I'm just saying he don't know, da-da-da. The other brother, his cousin, is ex-military. So automatically my mind say, oh, boy, with the business, you know, few tours in the Middle East, all that shit, you know. But he's down there because these same dudes murdered their cousin. Well, not now. They beat him senseless, delivered him to a doctor who, while he was still alive, barely conscious, harvested his organs. All right. So this is why what I don't know. I'm not gonna say that's why the brother came down there. Anyway, the brother that was in the military had just got released from prison. There's another one, right? Anyway, you get down there, he see, you know, and they have this thing in the gym. And so the white boy tell him, nah, you just can't leave now because you ain't no business in here. And he told the other brother, you know better than this, da, 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 da. Give me them Jordans, give me that basketball and get the hell out of here. And bro was like, yeah, what, man, man, yeah. And gave him the ball. right to his face, right? And they go in, boom. Even the scary dude has squabble on him. So I'm like, hey man, something ain't jiving, you know. But it's the way they wrote the fucking flick, the way they directed it. I didn't like it. Long story short, they're killing brothers throughout the movie. You know, they're making it a point. So many brothers and sisters are coming up missing. The town is actually harvesting the organs of our brothers and sisters. So anyway, when it comes time for the brothers, you know, and they write movies like this, do their thing, you know, to respond, you know, defend and protect, it's just an ass whooping. It's just an ass whooping to individuals who are literally trying to kill you. I don't get that. I know you could have wrote that script or you could have directed that better than that. So what's the message here? It's the same message we see in society today. It's okay to kill us. But it's wrong when we kill others in self-defense. That, to me, that was the message, man. Because even when bro in the army, you know, decided enough was enough. Now, all throughout the movie, man, all these brothers and sisters were in fear. This is how they portrayed them. They kept their mouths shut. This was 2026. They walking around this town, head down. They ain't saying, if the crackers say, yes, sir. I'm like, man, where the fuck this at? You know. Anyway, when the brother decided, okay, man, enough's enough, they didn't kill my cousin, you know, the one he went to live with, they killed him too. The whole town in on the sheriff's on it, the doctors, the lawyers, the bails bombing. It's an operation. They're making over 100,000 per body. The son of the sheriff, he's the ringleader. Some badass, right? And they're beating brothers senseless, man, and then taking them to have their organs, you know, harvested. Some brothers they killing and just throw them in the trash, you know, get rid of them, you know, just dump them in the trash bin. Anyway, the brother get tired, man. He go and he hit the spot where they hang at. You know, these are murderers, but this is how they write the script. This is how they direct it. He ain't, man, he might have killed two. At all of them he whooped, he maybe killed two. Got guns laying around. He ain't shooting them. They trying to shoot him, though. Shit didn't make no sense, man. You know, to me, like I said, it gave me the impression that the message is, yeah, this shit happens. This, you know, well, but it's okay to kill brothers for whatever resource we may provide to them. But it's not okay for brothers to kill in self-defense, in protection, you know? That's what I got from that. Because the army dude, nah. Then they had Blair Underwood, who was his PO. He accidentally heard a conversation from the sheriff because the sheriff looking for the army dude. He in hiding. So his sheriff think he hang up the phone. He's still the line is still live. The sheriff saying, ninjas this, ninja that, we got to kill him. We got to get rid of him. We don't want to mess off the operation. Blair Underwood hears all this shit. When he pops up in the town, he comes by himself. And he acting like a coon. I said, his movie didn't make no sense. It didn't make a lick of sense to me, man. I don't give a damn what nobody say. And then for RZA to be in on this shit, I don't know. It's like, it's just some sellout shit to me, man. I couldn't appreciate the movie in no respect, bro. In no respect. Even when the brother whooping on him, it's like they're vicious in the movie, the brothers. I mean, vicious. When the brother got the upper hand, there's no viciousness. It's like he's whooping their ass with compassion, you know? Like, I'm whooping your ass, but not to kill you when I know you're trying to kill me, you know? I'm like, no, hell no, man. This some bullshit. I didn't appreciate that movie one flick, man. I got to tell you the truth. And I don't even watch movies like that, to tell you the truth. But because you mentioned it, and RZA was in RZA part of this shit. The sister in the movie was an airhead. Just, man, in that respect, I think they portrayed how our sisters are in a lot of ways. You know? Just saying, man. You know, I don't know. Yeah, y'all might want to check it out, man. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Indomitably. All right, that's the word for the day, Rakufu. Indomitably. All right. Indomitability. Yeah. Anyway, the enduring capacity to resist defeat, recover from adversity, and persist despite sustained opposition. Her indomitability carried her through every hardship. There's that. Yeah. There's that. And that's us, man. At everything they didn't throw at us, man, we have an indomitable spirit, drive, resilience, a makeup. You know what I mean? There that is. Appreciate that, bro. If this the conversation, if it's the time, if you ask me. There you go. What you got for us, Ra? Rakufu says, look, man, the deeper our roots are intertwined, the stronger the branch will grow. The longer we weather the shifting wind, the firmer the bond we know. In regards to staying the course, okay, there we go. So you're going to say, in regards to staying the course of this boycott, a nation may stand with honor and pride, but without strong arms and science beside, its walls will weaken, its enemies advance. For power unguarded is left to chance. Real spit, bro. All right, Antonio, I see you. Lisa Moore, how's the queen? One of our sis stars. All right, peace and blessings, brother Bub. Love and peace to the brothers and sisters. Appreciate you here. Peace and prosperity to you and your fam. May everything be everything, sister. It's always an honor to have you amongst us. Rock Hoover said, man, I'm checking the actual research because popular 6-hour claim is often repeated without a credible study behind it. Well, go ahead, check the research. That's a good look. That's a good look. Lonzo said, peace to Lisa Moore. There you go. Rakufu said, no peer-reviewed economic study proves that Black Americans retain $1 for any fixed time. The widely repeated 6 hours figure is an unsupported urban myth because no data set tracks money circulating by race. You might want to look at that again, brother. Research instead shows that structural wealth inequality, limited business ownership, and reduced access to capital weaken Black community wealth retention. Let me go on because you got a little bit more. The accurate amount of time is unknown. No government data set, peer-reviewed study, or verifiable economic model measures how long $1 remains within Black America. Well, look at it like this, man. Oh, yeah, one more. Therefore, 6 hours and one circulation are unsupported claims, not scientific facts. And so look at it like this. So if you think, well, if they'll do the science on Jews, Asians, in terms of how long their money circulate and stays within their community, be rest assured they use scientific study, man, to see how long it stays in ours. Now, whether or not that's available information to anybody does not mean a study wasn't done. Look at it like that. But the fact still remains. And a lot of us don't need to see this, to know that a study was done. Other demographics, money stays within their community longer than ours. Do we need a study or a research to determine that? No, not at all. No, that's so obvious. Because there's nothing in our communities that we built. that we support for us and by us. Not very much. We don't need a study to know that at the end of the week or in 2 weeks when our people get paid, they don't go out the door on the corner where there's an establishment, a business ran by blacks, and that money goes in there. Most of them will jump in their cars and go 5-10 miles away to spend that money with another demographic. You don't need a scientific study to realize that's a fact, bro. There's a science of observation. What, just think about that. Think about that. And again, they will keep, and when I say they, I'm talking about other demographics. They will not only keep their money within their communities for said amount of time, they pool it. They pool it. Make it work for them. This is how the money stays in the community even longer. Come on, man. We don't need all the time, I hear you though. So my point is this: whether there's data or study on it or not is, I think, not necessarily relevant, but I think, listen, what's more relevant is the fact that our money does not go to our people. It goes to everybody else. Their money goes to them and their people, not everybody else. And you can see it in real time. When you go to little Chinatown, Japanese, little Albania, little Mexico, you go downtown, you see it. That's a clear indication that their money tends and caters to them. And they get the bulk of their money from us, where our money don't stay where we are. So we don't, I don't need a study, scientifically or otherwise, but as a seeing man, I see what it is. I confirm the data my damn self. I need no government agency or nobody else, a city, or nobody to tell me how we're living economically and how our dollars don't support us, but everybody else. Most of us in our communities, our families, when it comes to our children going to college, we have to depend on scholarships. We haven't made way or prepared for that through our dollars. We aren't financially set. They prepare for college. Oh, scholarship is fine. That means then they'll be able to save the money they put away that they hope to put their children in college with. But they prepare for it. They're only able to do that because of our dollars. None of their dollars coming in our community, man, where, they're being used to put our little brothers and sisters through college. Get them in college, pay for 4 years, get some type of degree. We go in, man, just based on, man, athletic scholarships or scholastic. See, a lot of them ain't really as intelligent as a lot of them want us to think. And that go for most of them demographics. We actually get in there because we've earned it when we can't pay for it, But hey, man, I don't need none of that. You don't need it. None of us needs it, in order to recognize that, hey, man, okay, the point of the matter is our money don't stay in our community. Period. Because we don't have anything in our community. That's the point. This situation that we see taking place can change all that. That's the point. That should be the point. How we're going to correct some shit based on an understanding. And look, man, everybody know the situation. again, in this respect, and I'm not trying to, be, shitty or nothing. We don't need nobody to tell us nothing in terms of what the hell is going on in our communities, what has been going on in our communities for like since the 60s. We know it's not beneficial to us. It hasn't been, and it won't be as long as it's here. None of these people, these communities, have taken that same money that is retained in their communities for however long it is. None of them have come back to our community and say, here's $100,000 to put in on, if you can get some more to go with it, on an after school facility, a STEM after school spot, something to help your youth develop, get them off the streets. They take our money and they go home with it. Even in that respect, it don't come back. It don't stay. So that's the point. If we're going to do this, the point should be to make sure from this point on, our money stays in our community in that, or whereas it starts to build something for us and not just circulate, but it begins to help us lay a foundation to where we are now bringing businesses, to our community. We're pooling our money to provide for ourselves. I think that's the point. That should be the point, That should be the point. All right. I appreciate the comment, man. We didn't, let's not get stuck in these studies. I mean, I think they're useful. But at the same time, man, if we're not doing the science ourselves, we ought to know better. We ought to know better than to allow people to continue to teach us or so-called educate us. We do the shit ourselves. That way we're going to know for a fact what the statistics say, what the science is, So I get it in that respect, and that, again, there's another situation, another point to be made. We got to do this shit. So I agree. Let's do our own shit. No love lost. All right. All right, Lonzo said, man, we are a wealthless group because we never got our stolen inheritance. No wealth equals no political power. All right. Excuse me. Lonzo said, above our people changing our perception, and you can see it. So then that means then that no wealth equals no political power will change soon enough, hopefully, right? Well, not hopefully, based on the effort we apply, the work we put in, and also we want to change the mindset, especially of us, that, we are a wealthless group of people. And again, if you really think about it, that's not the truth. That's not the truth. I mean, now we're $1.82 trillion, worth people. That's not wealthless in the monetary or economic, financial respect, and we ain't got no wealth when it comes to a whole lot of other shit, but in that respect, we got more money than any demographic in this country when it comes to spending power. That's wealth. That's our wealth. We're spending. We're giving it away. That's our wealth. All right, Rakufu, man. Ross said, man, Black Community Protection Doctrine mission: protect Black lives, institutions, property, and wealth without becoming reckless, criminal, or strategically self-destructive. 1, legal defense, maintain civil rights attorneys. I think that should change also, that title, because when you say civil rights as opposed to saying human rights, you're degrading the people, because human rights are more respected, especially legally and throughout the world, than civil rights. So I think, and that's just a suggestion. I don't mean to get off beat, but I'm saying, every time I see that, I say to myself, why haven't we moved on beyond civil rights and gotten to human rights? It's a big difference. Carries more weight, a different connotation, if you think about it, But anyway, legal defense, maintain civil rights attorneys, rapid bail support, legal observers, and verified incident documentation teams. Okay. 2, professional security, use licensed, insured security personnel for businesses, churches, especially, events, and vulnerable community institutions. 3, lawful self-defense education, teach de-escalation, emergency response, first aid, situational awareness, and state compliant firearm safety through certified instructors. 4, emergency communications, build reliable phone trees, encrypted administrative systems, neighborhood alert networks, and family reunification plans. There you go. Solid, very solid, all 4. Very solid. Now, when we're talking about legal defense, also professional security, lawful self-defense education, but legal defense first. When we're talking about verified legal observers and verified incident documentation teams, who are they reporting to? See, because when you talk about something like that, then that means also then and you would have to include professional security, shit like that. Is there not an apparatus, but is there a department or something set up that oversees all this? And if so, who do they report to? How does this work? I get it, just in terms of ground level establishing, makes all the sense in the world. It makes all the sense in the world. These are things that, we should have in place. How are they maintained? How are they directed in terms of functioning? All that matters. You know what I mean? This is stuff we talk about here in our family, and that's all I'll say about that. But yeah, every bit of that is good. Every bit of that was good, Rob. Lonzo said, man, we could actually shut the whole country down just by spending our money differently. Yeah, we would hurt it. We would actually hurt it in the we would hurt it. Almost devastated, to tell you the truth. But because they print money, they could try to counter that shit by putting more money out there, you know what I mean? And then to these other demographics and having them, enticing them to spend to make up for that gap, that $2 trillion. I don't think they will be able to, catch up to that, but that, it would affect not just the government, it would affect corporations, no doubt, I often think about, okay, what would they do? What would the corporations do? How would they go and complain to their puppets, the government, and say, hey, man, why y'all letting this happen? I try to think through those type of scenarios, because you got to know they have scenarios. Those think tanks ain't just the name on the door, think tank. No, they're actually in there thinking out scenarios for us. For us, we're the threat more than anyone else. So yeah, I think about that. I think about that often, man. So yeah, this is some serious shit. Yeah, let's see how far this go, man. But I like to think that, like you were saying, Zoe, we do it in such a way to where they realize that the longer we stay here, the more we'll destroy the country. They'd be more than willing to hurry up and say, "Oh man, get out of here." Not get out of here off the continent, but okay, what do y'all want? That's what I think they'll do. If we do it without let up, put our foots on their necks, don't allow them to breathe. Don't even allow them to breathe, man. You know? They'll be like, all right, what do y'all want? That's what I think. I mean, also take into consideration, they're going to be on some shit. Trust and know that. They're going to be on some shit now. Yeah. You know, all kind of roundups and shit going to take place, all kind of shit. So Rakufu, you had a 6 and a 7 and an 8. Well, let me look, man. You just go, boy. A 9 to 10. You just sat down and did you some studies, huh? All right, so 6, infrastructure protection, secure food, water, transportation, power backups, cybersecurity, data storage, and communication systems. I kind of felt like emergency communications and all that would go into that, but that's fine. Yeah, that's good nonetheless. You're going to say systems. Well, okay, yeah, systems. 7, economic fortification, protect land, business, homes, intellectual property, insurance coverage, credit, and intergenerational assets. All right, 8, intelligence discipline, verify threats through credible evidence, reject rumors, provocateurs, reckless rhetoric, and people encouraging illegal acts. Alonzo said at this juncture, he agrees with your plan, Rod. Let's get it. 9, political leverage, build voting blocks, litigation funds, union influence, contract coalitions, media capacity, and independent institutions. 10, strict defensive principle. Physical force is never a political program. It is only an immediate last resort to protect life where lawful and unavoidable. Okay, we ain't aware lawful and unavoidable. Got you. All right. Alonzo said, man, we ain't repeating none of the same mistakes we already made. We hip now. We've evolved. Queen said, Ra, what does the McKinsey Institute for Black Economic Mobility say about the subject matter? All right, there's a question for you, Rob. I'm pretty sure you read it by now. Appreciate that question, Queen. We have to take control of our economics, educational, spiritual, medical, diet. We have to get on our shit. The devil has no power against the truth. Lisa Moore said, that's right, Brother Alonzo. You own it. He said, they can't stop us at all. That's why they hate us too. Y'all better know it. Queen Nzinga said, the spirit of the statistic is real, even if the exact number is unverified. Black spending power, leaving Black communities faster than other groups, is supported by legitimate economic research. I know, but yeah. All right, Ben Bostic Sr., what it do, Ben Bostic? You love it? Appreciate that, bro. You already know what it is. Under the Groove Podcast, homie. This is where we focus on the focus. B1, Black first, man. You know, we're going to be Black men first, Black women, Black children first before we anything else. You know, I used to say back in the day, I identified myself back in the day as a man first before I was a Hoover. Yeah, I was a Hoover, but I was a man first, you know. And the more I held on to that and I started working within that mindset, shit start peeling off, falling off. You know what I mean? A lot of bullshit. We're men first. Black men at that. Melanated men and women first. You know? That's what we are, man. Black first, man. Nothing else matters. That's what we're supposed to be on, man. Straight up. And for those of us or in our communities, man, with the shit they doing, a different mindset could be applied to that, man. Real spit, man. These are soldiers, man, waiting to become warriors, but they're just not getting the training, the lessons, the education, you know, in any field. They could be soldiers in any field. And I don't mean on the battleground, but I mean in these institutions and shit. They you know, it takes all kinds, man. It takes all kinds, and we got to get to that. We got to get to that, y'all. To where we loving us. Black first, man. That's it. And again, man, unapologetically, I say that shit. I don't got no problem saying it, you know. That don't make me racist. It just make me love my people. I love my people more, man. That's it. You know. All right, Henry, I see you up in here, man. Greetings, brother Bud. One love to the chat. All right. Hope all is well with everyone. Peace and prosperity to you, bro. Good to see you up in here. And hey, Ben Bostic, good to see you up in here, sir. All right. Love, homie. All right. Yeah, good to see you, though, Henry. Lonzo said, man, she doesn't know what else to do but fight. That's what we do. That's what we're supposed to do. Yeah. We're built for this shit, actually. And, you know, sad to say, but, you know, I think these are the fights we're supposed to be having. Ain't that odd, right? I mean, especially from one of you guys' perspective, it was deemed so, you know. I'm not in that space, but I think this is what we supposed to be doing, getting it together, man. You know, fighting the righteous fight, you know. It can't get no more righteous than this, in my opinion. In my opinion. Lonzo say, man, peace to the God. Henry, hope all is well with you and your family, bro. Ben Bostic, man. Ben Bostic Senior say, keep pushing, man. That's all we know to do, bro. That's all we know to do. And like I was saying earlier, man, they you know, they want to pile it on to make it where we can't push it another inch, you know. They want to pile it on to make sure, man, that, you know, anything they put on us, man, we can't push it off us. We can't move it. They ain't figured this shit out, man. Cold part about it, we know what it is. We just ain't acting on it. Can't nothing stop us but us. But us. We're going to keep doing that. We're going to push past this shit. This shit going to be behind us, man. Got to be. B60 said, peace to you and yours, man. As well, that brother Alonzo. That's right. Lisa Moore said, that's right. We keep pushing. B1, black first. Yeah, that's what's up. Ben Bostic said, man, it's been giving on, or let's say it's been going on since the Moors taught them knowledge. It's been given on since the Moors taught them knowledge, you know. Yeah. You know, now again, all we got to do is go back, man, a few hundred, not long ago. Well, yeah, you know, some hundreds of years, man, you know, what they called the 15th century, you know, even 13th, it didn't mean that people were living in squalor and wash their asses, man. This is why perfume and cologne exist. They stink. I mean, you know what I mean? You know, you're sleeping with pigs and cows and shit. You know, what they know, we've taught them. What they have, we created. You know, that's not a lie. That's truth to power, man. What they know, we taught them. What they have, we created. So, you know, and again, I think, yeah, for the most part, what we need to start doing, again, we ain't got to focus on that. We have to start focusing on us. What is it about us we're supposed to be doing? Direct our energy and our focus, man, on us. Be one. Black first, man. Our focus should go to no one else but us. Don't get me wrong now. I ain't saying, hey, man, don't have your head on swivel. Don't be aware. Don't observe, but in terms of wasting our energy, man, and talking on points that makes no difference. That's a distraction. Most of them are. They're there to do that, to distract us. So yeah, man, it's all good. So Ben Boston Sr. said, man, it's been going on since the Moors taught them knowledge. Now, I agree with you. Good riddance and don't come back. Ben said, man, the youth. Yeah, bye-bye, y'all. I don't know how far back I am. God damn. Let me read a little faster then. Watch that. Don't get mad, y'all. All right. Lonzo say, yo, Ben, I recently found out the Moors were Hebrews. I hope all is well with you and yours. Ben responds, man, we good, but not all Moors and the black Moors were here first. Think about it. We were here first. Lonzo said, man, I learned even a lot of Muslims have Hebrew blood. What Muslims? Arab Muslims or what, because I just want to know. Damn, Fat Rat, you lying, man. Tarantino made Django. Hey, man, and let me be quite frank. I never watched Django. My wife, I didn't watch that shit till I came home, and that was maybe 4 years ago. Maybe 4 years ago. Could have been 5. And I only watched one time. I ain't watching no more. That shit it don't sit well in my stomach, man. It make my heart hurt. Shit. Give me a headache. Tarantino made that. That makes sense. That would make sense. Lonzo, I agree with you, man. A lot of them were hiding their Hebrew blood. Or the devil gave them those names to hide their Hebrew blood. You say, check it out. Lonzo say, Django, my favorite. Yeah. I can watch that every day. And The Hateful Eight. I watched The Hateful Eight maybe about 3 times, man. I don't know, man. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Henry, hit them thumbs up, y'all. Like and share. For those of you who are in here, Jody and the rest, Ben, subscribe, man, if you see fit. Your participation and viewership, how you get involved in this means a great deal to us, bro. So yeah, jump in, man. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Would appreciate that very much. Would appreciate that very much. Fat Rat, man, all right. Fat Rat said, man, economic multiplier analysis tracks how many times a dollar changes hands within a community before leaving. Economic multiplier analysis tracks how many times a dollar changes hands within a community before leaving. Local economic impact studies measures spending patterns, business ownership rates, and money retention. All right. Number 3, input output modeling analyzes economic flows between sectors and geographic areas. 4, consumer expenditure surveys collects data on where different demographic groups spend money. Notable finding: research has often cited that money circulates 28 days in Asian American communities, 19 days in Jewish communities, 17 days in white communities, 6 hours in black communities. But again, I mean, if we're really looking at some shit, man, and we're being serious about what we're looking at in terms of our community, we can see that. You know, we can see that just based on the fact that we don't even have businesses in our communities like other demographics do. When we go into an establishment and a business, we see who's behind the counter. We know automatically, subconsciously, whatever we, damn Buddha head, damn cracker, damn Mexican, you know, but we find that, or we think, we convince ourselves it's a necessity that we go spend this money with these people for these items that are not, you know, really they're not necessities, right? You know that, right? But when we're in our communities, we see why the money don't stay, or we see why it leaves so quickly, because we don't have anything, man, in our communities. So again, back to the point when I started this, the fact of the matter is, this thing that we've decided to do as a unit, as a people, is to our benefit. It's to our benefit. All you sisters that's in the bonnets, the nails, the lashes, the eyelid, it's to our benefit. You know, they even got brothers going in these places buying bonnets and shit and you know, whatever. You know, hey, man, hey, I you know, hey, man. But this is something we must do together. This is what we must do together. And if we do it right, and it seems to be going right, then we're supposed to pivot off this to something better. And it's happening, actually. It ain't even been 2 weeks. Well, it's just now 2 weeks. Black businesses are springing up in black communities. Ain't that something? That reminds me of when I was a kid, man. I used to see all kind of black businesses, man, on the set. Man, you ride them down Vermont, man. I don't care what way you was at. You was in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, in the 100s. Black businesses, restaurants, stores. Growing up, man, you know. The homes were owned by blacks. Now, I can't tell you whether or not back then money was staying longer than 6 hours, but I can tell you there were black businesses in our communities, man. Facts. Facts. And we still had it hard. You know, hey, you know. Okay, man. Fat Rat Man then dropped some gems up in here, just as Rakufu did. These are gems, y'all. Then jewels. We're supposed to pick them up. Okay, man. We're supposed to pick them up. Okay, Rakufu. Let me see. Rakufu was saying, man, this is a fact. We don't have the black community stacked up with enough goods to just shop amongst ourselves shop amongst ourselves. We have to access our geographical extent and create and buy and build it. I'm gonna tell you what. This is just my opinion on this shit. These places exist. They do. Black businesses exist. They do. I'm going to tell you what the issue is with a lot of our people when it comes to spending with black people. Convenience. We won't go spend no money, man, on a black business unless it's a weed shop. And, and don't too many of our brothers and sisters run and have those, but we'll go 2 miles, 3, 4. Well, not me, but, to get an eighth and spend $40 on some weed. We'll go to places that we know could be physically detrimental to us to get some weed. But we won't do that to go buy our food from our own people because they're 3 miles away. Only time we'll inconvenience ourselves is if we got to go to that dispensary because it's open and they get it, and it's 3 miles away, 4 miles away. But we won't go 3 or 4 miles to buy black. Man, our priorities are messed up, man. It's not that we, to some extent, there should be more black establishments. We should not be living in food deserts, water deserts, economic deserts, right? I agree. But we are. And yet there are still establishments, businesses where our people are the proprietors and we won't frequent them because we got an Asian store right next door, right on the corner, around the corner. These same people, you done heard them talking bad to our people, disrespecting them. Some of you have laughed or ignored it. Didn't say or do shit. And we got to do the work, man. We got to do the work, man. That's all. Rakufu said, man, all of our community wealth holders don't invest back in our communities. We too busy trying to get out instead of put in. No doubt. But again, y'all, here's the thing. We know what it is. And then we got to look, man, we got to stop looking at these people. They not us no more, man. It's always been us on that ground floor, man. On that ground level. For those who have risen above that, once they left it, for the most part, they don't come back. They not us no more. They not relating. They don't have these struggles no more, man. Malcolm just said this, man. I just played the clip. That's the truth. Okay, and we know this to be the truth. Why are we harping on that? They in cahoots with them people. So why are we even harping on that? We have an opportunity to change our station. Us doing it. We ain't even got to ask these people we've been asking for decades to help us, to come back home and help us. We ain't got to ask none of them. We got us, man. And we're doing the damn work. And it's like we don't see what we're doing. We still got to think about what somebody else ain't doing who ain't never done nothing. They just like them people, man. They we buy their shoes, their jerseys, man. You go to their games, very few of them give back. The majority of them are told not to give back. Oh, you want to give us away some money? We got the Red Cross. We got the ADL. That's what they're told. From the coaches to the owners, man, to these organizations that fleece them. Come on, y'all. We can't worry about that. We got our plate is right in front of us, man. Now let's cook and put some on our plate. And if we feel or we think that they should be checked when our shit is right, we check them. We let them know, hey, man, where were you? Where were you when the shit went down? Right now, man, let's not waste no energy on that shit. We need to focus on what the fuck we supposed to be doing. Real shit. Because we know, man, this has been happening. we started out this conversation saying, where are our politicians? Where are they? Where's Mary Bass? Where's them council brothers, them councilmen that be talking all that shit? You see what I'm saying? We got us. We're here. That's where our focus should be. That's where our focus should be. Dealing with this so that we can build our communities. That's on us, man. Ain't nobody, man. Look, y'all know this shit. We need to focus on the focus. Real spit. Appreciate that though, Fat Rat Man. Those were gems right there. Lonzo said, I don't need the government to tell me nothing about my own lived experience. Ross says, man, all of our community wealth holders don't invest back in our communities. We too busy trying to get out instead of put in. That's the truth, though. But that's what we know. We know that like we know crackers are racist. You know. Yeah, it's time to work with each other, man. Let's focus on building our infrastructure. Righteous. Real spit, though, Rob. Real spit. And put these differences to the side, man. Yeah, because the devil will distract us if we let him. Yeah, if we let him. What up, Donald? You say, what up, brother Bud? What up with you, brother? What up, brother Donald? All right, peace and prosperity, bro. Good to see you up in here with us. Henry said, man, every time we build something in history, they knock us down. Rosewood, Tulsa, Oklahoma, the LA battle. First time bombs dropped on American soil are heard off Central. Used to be the Black Harlem. Man, it was a hub, bro. Back in the day, Central was the hub, man, of black activity. You know what I mean? It was. The fucking entertainers, man, the movie stars would still hang out there, man. Shit has changed, y'all. Ben Boston said no school, no hospitals, no banks, deserts, man. Funny thing, well, not funny, but the truth of the matter is, our people had that when they called so-called had us subjugated or segregated. We had all that with no help from them. I'm telling you, we've been hoodwinked, man. As soon as them bastards saw we had the wherewithal to overdo them, to outdo them, they slapped us upside our heads, man, with integration, man. And we've been spinning ever since, man. We've been seeing stars ever since, bro. Ain't none of us shook that shit off yet. They hit our people so hard, man. Every one of us that was born after that felt that shit. We seeing stars, man. That's how hard that shit hit us. Man, hell yeah. Henry said, man, I think our people got stuck in time. And from those negative incidents in history, made our people afraid to build again, discouraged that it would happen every time we get our own. Jealousy. I thought that too, though. I thought that too. And yet I also think, man, so what? Then let's see. But we and our people from back then, you know what I mean? You know, it's just like the people in the so-called civil rights era and how they wasn't their people back then. You know, they dared to stand up. We not them, bro. We're not them. I mean, we are, right? In terms of DNA, but our shit is evolving, I think, you know, to the point, hey, man, if you're presenting a threat to us, you know, no more excuses. Let's see then. So I don't think we would have any of that. You ain't tearing down shit. And we paid for it. And fuck you. I can't wait to see it. Tell them, okay, man, fuck you, man. You ain't touching nothing. And mean that shit. Yeah. Yeah, man. Rakufu said, man, I get the Hebrew and Islamic Christian blood that flows through us. Yet I must state, we have older royal African pharaonic blood as well. All right. Lonzo said, man, Ra, why say African? Let's just go by those people ethnicity, not the broad or the broad term African. That's deceptive to me, bro. And it is. I trip on where we all do it. We say African because that's what we've been indoctrinated or conditioned to say. Alkebulan is one of the oldest names I've learned, and if it's one older than that, Alkebulan, I'd like to know about it. But that's, that was the name before it was Africa, before they came and changed it. But yeah. And Ross says, only because as a Pan-Africanist, I'm focused on the original entirety of the ancestral elders, Lonzo, all of them in order of origins. All right, y'all. Lonzo said, man, Asiatic is Semitic. Not every black person is Semitic. All right. What it do, Chris? You say, yes, bub. The young people need guidance, male and female. I'm not going to stop saying this. Man, that's some real spit. That's some real spit. You say, the problem is no. The problem is no one has the time to give them this and stay in their ear. And again, that's by design, bro, right? That's the way it's been set up. See, so for the most part, the design is to cater to capitalism, to keep us working, not structuring, our people, our family, our children, our unit, is more geared towards making sure we put all these hours in on this job to pay all these bills that are connected to this system. And no doubt, but know that our children are also, they got Social Security and they're part of this system. So what's being done is really just they're preparing them for the next rank and file. And they do that by keeping us occupied and distracted so that we can't go and lace them. That's the script. I'm telling you, we know the playbook is old as fuck, man, in terms of how long they've been using it on us. Playbook, man, an old playbook. It's been designed like that. Again, all you have to do is look at integration. See, segregated, we taught our own. Once they were integrated, then it became more than mandatory. It became a law that they had to attend these schools. First, they wanted to keep them out. Now they got to be in school. Where they send a truant officer, your ass to go to jail if you don't have your kids in school or you ain't declared that you homeschooling them. And then they try to do away with that. How dare you teach these little bastards? That's our job. Little do most of us know, we don't even own our children. I mean, it's such a thing, actually. You know what I mean? We birth them, we parent them, but they are wards of the state, man. The state has more authority over our children than we do. It's by design, bro. You can't get around that. You know what I mean? We can't get around that. I mean, we can, but we can't get around the fact that this is how they have established shit, and some sad shit. Anyway, yeah, bro, I agree. The problem is no one has the time to give them these lessons, this structure, and, this growth that's going to help them and stay in their ear. Everybody's time is consumed by something, truth to power, bro. Truth to power. Yep. Know what we got. All right, Ben, much love right back to you, man. Now look here, y'all. I'm about to get ready to cut. Let's get this some thought, man. What Rakufu said in terms of being prepared and organizing. If it's just in the family, man, right? That's a good look. It starts with self first, the family. You know? And then Fat Rat came in with that powerful shit, man. He just dropping gems, both of them. Let's get that shit some thought, man. Let's start dealing with the shit we need to deal with. Because I'm telling you, man, for the most part, a lot of this shit we talk about and waste time on ain't really doing us no good, So them people don't give a damn about none of this shit that we get caught up in and we waste time going back and forth over. They don't. All that matters to them is they see your melanin. They don't care about your God, man. They don't care about that. You are the threat. You. It's something they know that we don't. Some of us. And they are scared, man. To the point where they devise all these plans and programs, these schemes, They plot and plan deaths, unaliving people, man, because they know something we don't. They are in fear. I had a thought today about these people. They say 400,000 of our children every year, black, are abducted every year. And I said, that's too many. Wait a minute, man. What the hell, y'all? 400,000? Nah, man, ain't no 400,000 every year. The numbers have been rising, increasing, man, expeditiously. The numbers are going up. And I'm saying, okay, why did they take it? We tend to think about, oh man, the Epstein get out, no, they did sex trafficking, and that's the hit, that's the handle they put on it. They stamp it quick with that sex trafficking, and get us thinking about pedophiles and shit. These people taking our kids and abusing them, Our melanin, man. Our melanin. They're trying to discover ways to use melanin other than in technology, but ways where they can inject it in themselves and find some benefit for it for them. Just think about it, man. Think about it. They've been doing this shit. When they take our teeth and you never see them again, when they take our blood, they take tissue samples. Hey man, this shit been going on, man. We stuck on bullshit where they trying to figure out how to fucking defeat us because they are scared, man, of what they know. We got to be able to do this shit together, man, without always being distracted about one thing or another that they don't give a fuck about, and that they hope we keep the back and forth with, while they keep studying and trying to figure out the science behind us or because of us. You know what I mean? Come on, man. We shouldn't be debating about a damn thing. Because there's one thing I'm pretty sure all of us know. We some special motherfuckers, man. Ain't nobody like us, man. And that is not by accident. God damn, why can't we be okay with that affirmation? Why is that not enough? Ain't nothing like us, man. Nothing is like us, man. And not only that, nothing can survive what we've been through. Man, if that ain't enough, man, for us, come on, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I'm just saying, man. these debates and arguments back and forth when the shit is so fucking evident. It shouldn't be a debate, man, that we come from something nobody is. Why the debate? It's fucking obvious. Don't get it, man. We got to stop this shit. We're going to fucking overcome the devil. And damn, man, we got to be able to recognize that we come from something, man, greater than that. And we ain't got to be all the time back and forth about that shit. Again, man, just the blessing is being overlooked. I'm telling you, we got the biggest blessing we can get, but we still don't appreciate it. We haven't recognized it for that. Our melanin is the biggest blessing that was given to us, man. And look how we do. This shit crazy, man. We ain't figured this shit out. We got to always with these distractions and shit. Call it what the fuck you want. Just know it was given to you and nobody else. How that ain't good enough. Man, how that shit ain't good enough, man. We bullshit, man. We be on bullshit. And the shit hurts us, man. It don't help us. We vying about whose is greater. Whose was first. Man, we come from the same get down. Whatever that is. We ain't got enough sense to recognize again, we have the biggest blessing that could be given to any motherfucker. We don't appreciate it, man. We're bullshit. It don't make fucking sense, man. Not to me. I'm just one motherfucker, but I'm saying this, man, because I'm telling you, this shit don't make sense. It's a part of this bullshit that been thrown on us. And we parade around, we they're not supposed to. That time is over, man. That time is over, man. Whatever's going on, they're saying, okay, man, y'all got to know how to do this shit now. It's time. We still on bullshit. That's what type of time we on. We ain't on God time. We ain't on the God gene time. We on bullshit time. We dividing ourselves now. We use all kind of shit to create division amongst something. They ain't got to do shit no more. This shit crazy, y'all. All right, man. Look, I love everybody, man. Listen, I mean that shit. I mean that shit. I love myself, man, so much, man. I swear, man. Hey, we got to get this shit done, man. I'm down as a motherfucker because I get it. I get it now. I'm not gonna keep harping on what I did back then, man. That happened. And I think for some of it happened for a reason. I'm supposed to be here right now, like all y'all. We have a purpose. And it ain't this bullshit, y'all. Straight up. It ain't bullshit. I get caught up in it too. I ain't gonna lie. I check myself, man. Mother, what are you? Hey, man. You know what this fight is about now. Stick to that. These distractions exist for a reason, y'all. Real spit. That being said, man, I'm gonna let everybody go, man. Put in the atmosphere, man, that we meet here again tomorrow, man. Just love and respect. Just love and respect, man. That's it. That's all. That's all I can say to that, man. Take care of yourselves, man, so you can take care of each other. Love yourself, man, so you can love each other, man, no matter what. Because that's in the design, right? See everybody on the other side, man.
Count the names, count the bodies, count the victory. Cullen Hughes, Hurst, and writing future history. From the Apollo to the Borough to the Sphere. Where the echo of those Harlem nights still ringing clear. So when they ask what happened in those tenement flats, between the spirituals and where consciousness is at, tell them we transform suffering to scholarship and song. Tell them we've been telling you we're brilliant all along. The Renaissance will prologue every decade since the sequel. Every black child born's continuation of the people who survived the Middle Passage, survived the Jim Crow laws, and built magnificence from nothing but their vision and their flaws. That's in the sergeant. This is once a less than Hatters, Hatters, and Mercedes. Please don't you, I can't stop us. Power sensitive, watch the applause for pose. Digitated torture, consulate any problem when the wet just wanna build the season. Bait, I don't give the pause. It's just erasing up the times. Plead the markets off the main. Make it on the fans, turn the neck and love the durn. Suffers like a kesha. You went wrong to preaching up on side and see chillun, but on the shit and untrue seeing vets. Someone the very it's on Gary Land. Be hell in heaven, you see what the bonafide. You wait talking for the marker, make the key to pull the club and saw the boards to the singer. Land is carried open, slowly keep us looking on my mother. Break it, generous, he more than he and let the peasant be. It's every time we keep a spawn.